Oh, banner 30.
Hello, 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 hello.
Well, howdy, everybody. Oh, don't you love it when people look like that? Howdy, everybody. How's everybody doing? You know, when you're kind of slow and drawn out and feeling like something cat drug in. It's all right. You know what? You ain't got me yet. My eyes opened up this morning. Better than the alternative. So there you have it. I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
Right. This is
So
true.
tell me about your day, Linda.
Oh, I just had Eliana today.
Yeah.
Hi, Donna. Just babysat the baby. And pretty much she slept a lot. She's not feeling real all that great.
Could it have anything to do with turmeric?
Could have. Could have.
You know what? Just think about that. How many times our kids got into things or things they did? Well, hello, Donna. Yeah, like when I had my little girl decided that her nose was a place that a rock belonged.
Oh, jeez, oh, Pete.
So she stuck a rock up her nose.
I'm glad my kids didn't do anything like that.
I only only did it one time because we had to go to the emergency room and they had to take it out. And while we're at the emergency room,
Hi,
good
Kate.
evening, KMM. Sorry, go ahead.
Don't get me wrong. We had our fair share of emergency room visits with my boys, but it was always for stitches or asthma. Both of my boys had asthma.
Well, my little boy decided that the fire alarm needed to be pulled at that particular time.
Nice.
So everybody's running every which way and they're trying to pull a rock out of my daughter's nose.
No boy.
So life is good. You know
that one.
Right? So you know what? Everybody who has kids knows exactly what they're all about. They'll get into any kind of trouble they can.
Exactly. Exactly. Funny story though is I was looking online at the grocery store today and I went in to look at the different foods that they have for babies. And interestingly enough, they have a chicken turmeric. I kind of chuckled at that one.
You know what? Funny. Hello, Royal Apple. How are you? Good to see you. All right. So you tell me your take on this one world government thing, and then I'm going to say a couple things, and then I want to go over this pardon.
Well, I don't know if anybody looked up the multipolar, but basically what multipolar government would be is everybody's saying one world government. But now they're starting to bring up this multipolar. Oh my gosh, that was cold.
It's 70 here, sorry.
So what multipolar is that you would have one or two countries that would basically be in charge of the whole world.
Which makes sense.
Right. And if you do a search into that, United States is one of the few countries that don't want a one world government.
Well, heck no, because you know what? I'll tell you why too. But go ahead, finish up what you're going to say.
All your less fortunate countries and more poverty stricken countries, they all want a one world government. Because, I mean, let's face it, if it was a one world government, that's the board.
Sure.
So, and I think this also goes with BRICS, which is the equivalent to NATO, which what people really don't realize is that in a certain way it already almost is a multipolar, because you got NATO and that's who's running the world.
Right. So
basically they kept your eyes peeled, but distraction over here and distraction over there, because they've been doing this for years. They've been doing it for years.
And then you got Charles Schwab.
This is the whole thing of NATO.
Right. Well, and then you got Charles Schwab doing the WEF, thinking he's going to do something there too.
Right.
But y'all, I can tell you right now that's not going to happen, because anybody with any horse sense knows that these rich billionaires, it would be like socialism across the world.
Right.
Do you think for 1 second that all these billionaires are not going to share their money? They'll share it now, and they're sure not going to share it with people that are living in tents, or they won't even help our people in North Carolina that are living in tents.
Right. They don't even help their own Americans.
Yeah. So do you think for 1 second that they're gonna want to share with the people in Indonesia or Ethiopia or? Oh,
before I forget, there was breaking news this afternoon. The feds found proof that P. Diddy and Ellen DeGeneres killed Anne Heche.
There you go.
I wanted to get that out there before I forgot.
Well, yeah, because Shay said she sat up, didn't they?
Anne Heche was getting ready to spill all on Ellen.
And when she was in that car accident, didn't she sit up?
I don't know, but they said that she was on drugs and stuff, and they said the toxicology report was a lie. There was no drugs in her system.
No, see, you know what? And the thing was, when they got her out of the car accident and they put her on the gurney, and the guy said, lay back down, and pushed her back down because she was getting ready to get off the gurney. All right, come on, y'all.
Yeah, right. Yep, now that you say that, yes.
You know what?
So is she really dead, or is she in witness protection?
No, I think she's gone. I think Ellen had her gone.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah,
I do too, but
and I think that Ellen looks awful right now over there in England with her brown hair. And look, did you see the new recent picture of her?
Yes. And did you know she's a cousin of the Rothschilds?
Really? That doesn't surprise me any.
She's also related to King Henry. And she's also related to Princess Kate.
Well, that's keeping it in the family, ain't it?
Yeah.
Wow. That's something.
Yep.
You know what? P. Diddy's going to bring down a lot of people. And if you think for 1 second, I'm going to tell you something. When Epstein went down, which I still kind of think that he didn't go down, but anyway, and that's my thing. But
right.
I think he said, hey, you know what? Get me out of here, just like they did Al Chapo. And I'll keep my mouth shut.
Right. I'm waiting to see
did he
if he decides to pardon P. Diddy, wouldn't that be something?
Oh my God. Well, was he on the list? Is Biden on the list? Hunter maybe. Okay, so here we go. Okay, let's wrap this one. All right, y'all. I don't know. Have you all seen the pardon? I'm going to put it up here so y'all can see it. Just as pretty as a peacock, I'm going to show you exactly what it says. And I want to emphasize something here, because I found it to be a little unnerving. Okay, right here. All right here it says, of course, to whom these presidents shall come in greeting. It is known that this day I, Joseph R. Barton Jr., whatever, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, it doesn't say that he was cognate when he did it. But anyway, doesn't say in solemn mind. But anyway, it says a full and unconditional pardon. This is what gets me. For those offenses against the United States, which he has committed or may have committed or taken part in during the period of January 1st, 2014 through December 1st, 2024. Through December 1st, 2024.
Including all the charges that he's been charged for and whatever he has not been charged for.
Right. What has he done that we don't know about?
Laundered money.
They're not going to tell us. And Burisma is in all of that.
Oh, yeah.
So he took the fall for Uncle James and Daddy Joe and everybody else. Because you know why? Because he was a drug addict and it was easy. It was easy to tag him with it. Because you know what? He was out of his mind. He was a drug addict.
Mm-hmm. But what bothers me is why go back to 2014?
Because I think that's when Burisma started. I will look.
That's what bothers me. Why are you going all the way back to that?
Okay, I'm gonna look here and see something here. Let me say, guys.
Right. I believe anybody that's in jail here in Michigan, marijuana is legal now. I think all those people should be let out of jail because it's just kind of stupid to be sitting in jail if you have a possession charge for marijuana.
Oh, here we go, guys. All right. He did that from January 1st, right? Ukraine Energy firm hires Biden's son as a lawyer June 7th, 2014.
So it was in the works at the beginning of that year.
Exactly. So that's when Burisma started.
So they can't even bring him up on anything. They can't even bring him up on anything.
No.
For him being a lawyer.
Right. They can't bring him up on those charges. They can't get him on his gun charges. They can't. You know what he could have done? He could have went out, literally shot somebody 2 days ago, and he would have gotten off of it. Mm-hmm. Because it's anything up until then.
Mm-hmm. Anything that he's done.
Yeah. So he had a few days there. So I looked it up, and do you know there's only one person that's had that broad of a pardon, and that was Nixon, and you know that was all over Watergate.
Right.
So it must have been a Lulu because look at old Hunter, but he's got more things. It's crooked. It is some mafia kind of stuff that you just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to pardon you from this time to this time, and you know you can do whatever you want to, and you're pardoned from here on out.
Didn't that leave the door open for them to go after him now?
No, because well, okay. See, do you guys realize that this was all okay? So this was all. I'm gonna show something else interesting to you because you know when you're sick, you don't have anything to do but lie around and either read or something. But today I spent my time at the doctor's office with my daughter. But okay, so who's also very sick. So
let's keep her in her prayers.
Yeah, she's
Connie's daughter.
Yep, she's got COVID, the bad one. All right, so he wrote this up on December 1st, 2024, right?
Right.
So he had, all right, think about this, guys. What day did Donald Trump announce that Kash Patel was going to be the leader of the CIA or whatever, FBI, whatever he's, yeah. What day was that? Wasn't that just a few days prior to this pardon? Yeah. And you know what? Joe Biden said, oh my God, holy cap. You know what? I'm in big trouble.
No, I don't think Joe Biden did it. I think Obama told him, you need to do something because we're all in trouble.
You know what? This is true. Now, this one is true. Hunter can't plead the fifth. He had to. So if he is asked anything about his father, he's got to tell the truth. He can't plead the fifth, keep his mouth shut. That was interesting too. Donna, I read that too. But you know what? They're going to make it all go by the wayside because, all right, think about this. You're going to put a person in prison that doesn't even know how to tie their shoes. He's incognito. They'll put him in a nursing home.
You know what it is? He won't. How do they word that? He doesn't have the mental facilities.
He doesn't have
to withstand a trial.
Yep. He doesn't have
faculties to withstand a trial.
No, they said that too. And you know, it's really kind of funny you bring that up because they brought that up in court. He does not have the mental capacity, faculties to stand up in court. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Hunter did it all.
So at this point, the only thing they can do, they can only go after, Uncle.
I think they said it was the C word, but I think it was. There's a bishop online, and he said the flu and COVID have gotten together. The flu and so now it's called flora. Instead of corona, it's flora. Goes, goodness, how could I got flora? Well, there you go. I think that's what she got. I said, you got a romantic thing. It's called flora. She goes, shut up, Mom. I don't feel too romantic. Okay, well, you'll feel romantic when it's over.
Right.
Oh, Obama knows it all. You know what they said? Somebody said yesterday they didn't think that Obama had anything to do with it. And I thought, dang good and well he did. Dang good and well he did.
Mm-hmm. Right.
He was there. Because you know what? Have you seen him? When Obama went into office, he looked pretty young for his age.
They all go in looking young and come out looking old.
And he looked real. Well, that's because they're doing all kinds of shady stuff.
Yeah.
You know what? When you're shady and trying to cover up stuff and hide behind stuff.
I don't think Reagan went in looking old and came out even older looking.
No, neither did Trump.
No.
Because they were doing things on the up and up.
Right. Right.
Okay, so back to this one world government. So
Yeah.
Places like Ethiopia and Indonesia, Kenya, they want to share the wealth here. And it's like, I don't think so. They said, I was looking today, we are 20% of the waste in America. Did you know that in the world?
Mm-hmm.
That you can go by somebody's house and they will, if you lift up their garage door, they'll have some kind of old bike and all kinds of other old stuff in there, and it's all crammed in there because their kids got to have the latest and greatest, and they'll just end up throwing it all away.
We are a very wasteful country. That much I will say. We really are.
But the thing is, we are brought up like that. take it away from us and see who's not going to hoop and holler.
Right. Right. Well, I mean, and the kids even nowadays that are even younger,
Mm-hmm.
everything is disposable.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. Everything is disposable.
Mm-hmm.
You don't fix anything. You just get new. Throw it away and get new.
I was kind of that generation too, weren't you?
Um,
It's
a little
appliance.
bit, a little bit,
Yeah.
but you know, I when I got out on my own, I turned more into the disposable. Well, just screw it. We'll just buy new.
Well, you know what? I got to tell you, my bread maker went down, and I thought, doggone it, it was working so good, and I was going to have to get a new one because it wasn't turning the paddle on the bottom. And I thought, well, it's going in the garbage anyway. Let me see what I can do. And I tore that sucker apart and fixed it.
Good for you.
And I was like, yay, I got a bread maker. Now I'm going to have to go buy another one. So put a feather in my cap.
Well,
DOJ just came out with a report that Iran paid thousands to send killers after President Trump caught two of them, one on the run. You know what? That does not surprise me. That does not. And I can guarantee you, there's more here. There's yet more to come. Because I'm going to tell you, they're going to take a shot at him again. I know that. Do I think he's going to die? No. But I think they're going to try it again. I can guarantee they're going to try it again. And you know who's one of the Secret Service now? Look, he took my breath away. Dan Bongino is going to be the head of the Secret Service. I love Dan Bongino. He's a loyal one.
They need to do, they need to really make changes.
Well, the old cliche, keep your friends closer.
Right.
Your enemies closer.
Right.
I love Dan Bongino. But you want to keep the real loyal ones close so that you can get your enemies that are closer.
Right.
Your loyal ones will take care of them.
Right. Absolutely.
I was looking at JD Vance, and I don't know if y'all know, but he used to work for BlackRock. That kind of bothers me a little bit.
But I think there's a method to the madness.
Well, I think so too, and I'm hoping, that it either comes out or he's changed his ways. I know that I'm going to tell you a story here. Elon Musk was working recently. He was working 60 to 100 hours a week at his business. Now, can you imagine? That's basically living there, right? And he decided that he wanted some fast food, not just any fast food. He wanted Taco Bell. So he just jumped in his car and drove over to Taco Bell, right? And parked his car over there. And he walked in. The restaurant was packed. But he didn't have anybody with him. So he just walked in. Nobody paid any attention to him. He had his sweatshirt. And I used to laugh about Boris Johnson because I don't think he ever owned a comb. I wanted to send him a comb. Well, I don't think that Elon knows what a comb's for either.
Right.
And his hair was all disheveled. So they probably just looked at him and thought, I don't know who that is. And he walked over to the cashier. And she looked at him and then she recognized him and she got a little nervous. And he just kind of looked at her, gave her a little smile, like, don't be saying anything. And so she took his order. And while he was waiting, he was sitting back, listening to what was going on and probably thinking about his business or whatever, but was listening to what was going on around him. Well, there was these two boys and they were 13, 14 years old and they were sitting at this table. And the one boy was saying, we got to do it. We got to do it. And he goes, I don't want to hurt anybody. And he goes, yeah, but we got to do it because mama needs her medicine. We're going to lose her if we don't. And he goes, well, what's going to happen? He goes, well, we'll just grab the cash real fast and run. Nobody's going to get hurt. Well, he sat there listening. And he walked over to the cashier and he said, I need a couple more of these whatever taco things. And then he said, walked up to the boys and he said, Can I sit here? There's really no place for me to sit. Well, the older boy finally figured out who it was and his eyes got real big and he said, well, yeah. And he goes, well, I got too much food and I'd like to share it with you guys if it's okay. And they said, okay. And he handed each one of them one and he sat down and he real calm said, I was listening to your conversation. And he goes, and then they all got real nervous and said, we didn't do anything. We don't want to hurt anybody. We don't want to steal. We don't. And he goes, I know. I got this. You know, he goes, I know you're doing it for your mama and I know your mama's sick. And he goes, yeah, my mama's real sick. We might lose her. And the younger brother just started crying and said, we're going to lose her and she's all we got. And he goes, well, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to help you because you know what? I've been blessed with money to be able with a good life and I'm going to help you. He paid all of the mother's doctor bills and hospital bills and paid her medicine from there on out and told the boys, you just take care of yourself and be boys like you're supposed to be. Good now, you know what kind of, that is an amazing story.
Yes. Most definitely.
You know, you hear those kind of stories with Trump all the time. All the time. He's always taking care of people.
Right.
When did you ever hear, you know, I stand corrected if there's one out there. When have you ever heard of a Gates story?
Right. Right.
Or what was the other one? Who's the Facebook dude?
Zuckerberg.
Yeah, you ever hear him doing anything nice for anybody?
No.
Or Basil in that Amazon?
Yeah, I think so.
He don't do nothing nice for anybody either.
Yep. Nope.
And he's going to send, Elon's going to send, I don't know how many millions of dollars over to see if he can't, for the campaign for Farage to get him in office. In the UK, in the UK? Or isn't that where he's at, or is he in France?
I don't know.
He's,
I don't recognize the name.
Oh, you know it. It's, I wanted to say his name is Leon, but I'm not sure. Oh, let's see who it is. But they said that's not a bad thing, and I thought, well, all I hear is, whatever kind. I think he's a UK. And you know what? Look, Donna's going to say it before I ever have a chance to say it. She's probably already said it.
What's that?
She said, I like Farage. Yeah.
Britain.
Hey, Britain. See, that's what I thought he was a UK. Yeah, and he's going to send a bunch of money over there to get him in. Well, see, that's the kind of people they need over there too.
Right.
They need some honest people. We need a bunch of honest people.
Right.
We don't need to be piggybacking with Ethiopia. You know what? Think about this for just a second. If there was a one world government, what language would we speak? Because there's 7,124 different languages.
Right. But the universal language is English.
Well, so they would all have to learn it.
Well, they all do. They all know it. English is taught as a language in their schools. We're the only country that it's an elective.
Well, that guy that was in the Walmart from the Congo did not speak English. I don't know what he was speaking. Well, he wasn't speaking English. And the guy that came to the door, the Walmart delivery lady, didn't speak English either. And she kept pointing at her phone. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys a joke here. So we have this big old banner, and it says Trump, keep America great. And our roommate has tendency to have Walmart deliver everything. So the doorbell rang, and I went to the door, and here she stood, and she said, and I just looked at her. And so then she kept pointing at her phone, and I thought, you know what, lady, that's not even a translating thing. I don't know what you want.
Right.
And so then she turned, her husband got out of the car and came up, and he goes, hello. Hello.
Right.
We need ID. We need ID. I said, I handed the sack back to him and said, hang on, shut the door in their face. But I didn't mean, I had to, because dogs would have ran out. Right. So anyway, I went back there. She got her ID. She came up and she was talking to him. And when she came back in, I said, they didn't speak good English, did they? And she said, you know what they told me? I said something to him. It's supposed to get cold or something. And they said, no habla, Venezuela. And I said, oh, shit, I hope they're not part of that game.
Right.
And come burn my house down after they saw that sign on the front of my house.
Right.
Oh, well. You know what? They don't, everyone else can talk. Why can't we?
Exactly. Exactly.
You know?
We're not supposed to be able to voice our opinions.
That's in our Constitution. We have freedom of speech.
Yeah, well, you tell them that.
You know,
they try to cancel us and shut us up every chance they get.
Like that one YouTuber said, if you are somebody, then that makes you an R-worder.
Right.
And I thought, look, we have resulted into talking like jive.
Right.
You know, nobody knows exactly what anybody's saying.
Right.
It's rather interesting how we can, anyway, what I was going to tell you is there's only one other person that's been pardoned like this in the United States history, and that was Nixon.
Yep.
I think there's more than just Burisma here. What do you think?
Oh, it has to do all with the Ukraine. And I guarantee that they're going to get to the bottom of it and find out just how much money was laundered and embezzled through all that.
Right. And you think there's any trafficking involved in there?
Now, the question is this. Say they find out, let's just put it for instance out there. Say they find out that he embezzled $2 billion. Mm-hmm. Even though he can't be charged with anything for the pardon, can they make him pay that back?
No. No.
You don't think so?
No. He's just like a bank robber at that point. He's robbed the bank, he's got the money, and now he's been pardoned for it. And you know what? He put it in everybody else's name. He's like Diddy.
Yeah, right.
Diddy said he's one of the poorest men you ever seen in Hollywood. And you're like, where's he coming from? He's the poorest man in Hollywood. Because he's got when he started up those freak off parties, he put all of his everything in his mama's name.
Yep, he sure did. He sure did. But there's a lot of people that do that.
Yes. Yes, he can vote, and he's not a felon. Oh my God, now there's a thought.
Well, felons can vote now.
Yeah, but I mean, he could run for president.
That's scary.
Somebody could make him vice president. And the Bidens would. I tell you what, that Biden family. I don't know what you all think, but I think they're like mafia. Really.
I think they're like the hillbilly mafia.
Right? Okay.
Just-
How about this? So after he signed that pardon, he went to Africa, didn't he? And he in Africa right now, and they said he wandered off into the rainforest. No, seriously. I think he's in Africa right now.
Oh, and Kamala's in Hawaii.
So who's running our government? The people that have been running it all along.
Right.
Hey,
Those two have just been on a permanent vacation for 4 years.
well, here's a better one. So everybody, they had a press conference with old Chucky boy, Chuck Schumer.
Yeah.
And they said, Biden lied to us, and he said that he wasn't going to pardon his son. So can you please tell me how come he got away with it? He goes, I'm not going to say anything about that. And he said, so, I'm not going to say anything about that.
Right.
He said, is there anything that anybody like to ask me that isn't on this topic?
Right.
And they all stood there. No, because Chucky, there ain't nothing to talk about right now that we know that you're doing right now.
Right. Exactly. And KMM, who else will Biden pardon? I have a feeling there's going to be pardons for Pelosi.
You know what? You're right, because she's just and probably Obama.
Yeah.
Obama will probably be on there, but he's an African now, so a lion might eat him.
And maybe Clinton.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Clinton.
Any of the top dogs that they think that Trump's going to go after, I have a feeling there will be pardons coming out for them.
And it'll be a broad pardon. Hillary and Bill are going to get ones that are said they're going to be pardoned. 1985.
Right. Exactly.
2004. Yeah. Because when did Foster die? Didn't he die like 80 something?
Who?
Vince Foster.
Yeah, I can see him pardoning them before they can even be looked into. If he doesn't do any more pardons, I would be very, very surprised. Very surprised.
So he died in 1993. So we're going to start it off in 1980.
Right.
Because, I'm sure there's some trailing going on there. And we're going to pardon them for anything they might have done.
Right.
Yep. Because you can bet that Kash Patel knows where some of those bodies are buried because he's been in there.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I can see it. I can definitely see that happening.
Oh yeah. It's going to be, and you know what? They're probably going down the Epstein list right now as we speak. Let's see. This one needs a pardon.
Right.
And this one needs a pardon.
Right. They're just going to go down the list, which would also
include Diddy.
I'm telling you, I have that big fear. I have that fear that he's going to pardon Diddy.
Well, if he pardons Diddy, he better pardon Oprah and Ellen. How kind. Maybe they'll all come back to the United States then. You think?
I think that is an injustice of the power of presidential rights.
It It is. All right. So he's opened the door. So you know what? If he starts pardoning all these people, then Trump has every right to go in and pardon himself for all these 34 felony convictions that he didn't even do.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know if Trump would do that just because I don't think he's guilty of any of them. And that is basically admitting to doing something. But he was found guilty.
Right.
So you know what? Might as well.
I can see him doing that because they, from what I understand, they're just going to wait for him to do his presidency and then go after him again.
Yep. So he needs to do himself a broad one too.
Yeah.
I want to be pardoned for anything that I've done from the time I was born to the time I died. From
Right.
the time I was born to
Right.
that time. There you go. And I can do whatever I want to.
Yep.
I mean, come on, y'all. When does it stop? When does this stupid stuff stop? That's just ridiculous. I didn't think you could do that kind of stuff.
That's abuse of power.
Well, that's saying it lightly. Abuse.
Right. Exactly.
That's
I mean, they've got him on so much abuse of power, it's ridiculous anyway.
and Linda, do you think that he knows he's doing it?
No.
I don't think so either. I think the man don't even know how to tie his shoes, and I think it's very sad the way he shuffles around. You know, somebody made a comment. They think that he's smarter than he appears. I don't think so. I think he's definitely incognito. And he'll probably wander off. You know what? This is probably what they did. They took him to Africa so he could wander off into the rainforest and get lost.
Now here's a good thing to throw in the mix. Now, what if they find out that it wasn't the real Joe Biden that pardoned Hunter?
Oh, then it wouldn't stand. There's a thought, right? Yeah, because the real one's wandering over into the tropical rainforest and they want him to get lost so that they can say, oh, we don't have president anymore. I would lionate him in Africa. So now we're going to have to put Kamala Harris in his place.
For what, 6 weeks?
Well, she'd go down in history as the first female president for 6 weeks, whatever, but it still goes in the history books if she wants her name in there. And you'd be surprised what she could do in 6 weeks. She'll probably do some pardoning of her own.
Oh yeah.
You know. Oh, just get me in there for 6 weeks so I can do a list of pardons.
Right, exactly.
You know, it is the saddest thing I have ever seen in my life.
It is. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And like I said, it is an abuse of power.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Are you going to pardon? Are you going to pardon the grandma that was over there singing a church hymn in front of the abortion clinic?
Right.
That went to prison.
Right. I'm sure Trump will probably pardon her.
Well, I'm sure. You know what, KMM? I'm going to tell you. I don't know if y'all watch New York Prepper or not, but it's really active right now. It's on nuclear alert. Putin's about had it, y'all, because here's the thing. He said he was going to stand down. He was going to have a ceasefire. He wanted to talk. He had a list. He said, I just want you to do these few things and we'll get this thing over with. Right. And they would, and then Biden said, here, let me ship you about 4 or 5 more plane loads of missiles and then just barrage him at one time with all these missiles. And, Putin saying, I just got off the phone with Trump. I can't. I'll deal with Trump. He said that. I'll deal with Trump, but this man's crazy. This Biden character's crazy.
Right.
And he goes, and he said, and I got to protect my own in my country. So Are they going to get us into war before they get out of there? There's a thought.
Right. I don't know. Good question.
You know, there's a lot of things we got to look forward to. And Trudeau thinks that he's a big shot, and he said, "Oh, we don't care if you put those 100% tariffs on us." Really? Okay. Well, let's see what happens when it.
Well, and you know about those tariffs, because I'm tired of hearing it, and of course this is my opinion. But everybody's like, "Oh, wait, we're going to end up paying in the long run for that," and blah 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 blah. You know, the whole point of the tariffs is, yes, if you continue to buy stuff from other countries and they're importing it into our country, then yes, you're going to pay more for it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still not as much as paying what some of these companies that made in America. That's what needs to be done. These companies that are selling made in America stuff, they need to stop with the prices.
Yeah, bring it down a little bit.
They need to bring it down, and then maybe people wouldn't buy from China.
Right.
So it's not going to cost, you know, it's like, well, if they put 100% tariff, okay, so let's just say a glass from China you can buy for $1. So it's going to cost you $2. Well, it's still cheaper than going to the store here and paying $5.
Okay, but here's another thought. Think about this. Do you know that if you buy your stuff on the internet, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't pay the taxes the same as you pay if you go to the grocery store here.
You do here.
Well, I don't on mine.
If I order stuff from Amazon, the taxes is the 6% that I pay here.
But if I order from Temu, I don't.
Oh yeah.
Right? So it comes over and I don't pay the taxes the same.
Right.
And they'll get it in here and the tariffs won't be on. I don't think you can tariff the stuff that comes in over the internet, can you? I don't know. That's a question.
I don't know.
But I would be curious to ask y'all, how much are avocados in your state right now? And I live right next to the place they bring them in. So I know how much of mine are, but how much are y'all's? Because it costs more to take it up further in the United States.
Yeah.
How much is an avocado in Michigan?
I don't know. I haven't bought any. So I can't say for sure. But I can certainly look it up real quick and let you know.
All right. See, Roll Apple. See, this is the thing. But there was another thing. There was that. What is that company called, Linda? That Mayfair. You know what? You could go into Wayfair. They had a thing going, and they got busted and got in trouble. But they had where you ordered a cabinet, and its name might have been Fred. And it looked like a little boy's dresser.
Yeah.
And when it got there, it had a little boy in it. A real little boy was in that cabinet.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. And they're child trafficking through their cabinets and stuff.
And one extra large avocado is $3.
Kroger's $1.25 at Kroger's for one avocado, and that's the little one.
No, for one extra large is a small avocado is $2.30 here, $2.30 for a small avocado.
How about that, Clyde? How about that? Don't you feel like you're really saving some money?
No,
No,
I'm getting raped.
you're getting our word in, he said.
How much is an avocado there?
Here,
Yeah.
how much is one little avocados? 98 cents.
Used to be like 50 cents.
I know. A bag of them is, what'd you say, 4 for?
No, there's like 4 for $7.
And that was the large ones, right?
No, those are those
Little ones?
One little
Yeah.
Yeah, the little green bags, $7 for 4.
It's ridiculous. Just get a bag like that for like $3.
We used to get a bag like that for $3.
Wow. That's
But then we're right here. They're not having to transport them very far.
right.
So I know that if they're going up in price and they're crazy here, they gotta be crazy. Look at 238. Guys, come on. And I was trying to grow an avocado tree. You know what? They are really hard to grow.
That's what I've heard.
Oh, I got it 7 foot, almost 7 foot tall, but it hadn't came out, and that freeze came, and I almost slept around it because I wanted it to stay warm, and I put some lights around it to keep it warm, and it burned the trunk and killed it.
No.
You know, I mean, and it was from a little seed.
Right.
But there is an avocado that you get from Honduras, and I ain't joking with you. It's like this big.
Wow.
It's the size almost of a grapefruit, small grapefruit.
Wow.
And it's got a seed about the size of an orange, too. So, I mean, you're not really getting anything that's any more meat, but that was
Right.
what the tree was
Right.
from that seed,
Right.
and then it died. House bags, $4.99, 4 in a bag. Well, see, you're getting it better than we are. How that work? 'Cause we got 4 in a bag for $7.
Ours is almost $6 for a bag of avocados.
But I think he said that they're the small. I think those are the larger ones that are 4 in there for a large Haas. I'm telling you what, y'all. The larger they are, the larger Haas, the creamier they are. They are really good. But you know what? I could live on avocados. You know, and if you think about that, and you think about how high avocados are, think
Right.
about what the rest of it's going to go.
Right. Right.
What does Michigan produce?
Cherries. And
So what-
cars.
You know, well, cars, and they're getting ready to go into full swing on cars. Trump's already said that.
We have a big cherry.
Cherries are really expensive here.
Well, they're expensive here too. I mean, and they're from here. But
Mhm.
I know this summer it was $4.99 a pound for cherries. And that's expensive for here.
I think that's about what it was here too. I mean, it was really high. The only thing that doesn't seem to keep going up is bananas. And bananas are 50 cents
Ugh.
bushel or something. But I know it takes 15 years for it to produce fruit. I was all excited. I was 2 years in. Yeah, well, that, you know, what do you do? What do you do? There ain't nothing you can do about it.
So I did a little research.
Tell us
Guess what?
what.
We only have
You're gonna have to repeat yourself, Linda, because you froze.
5 more shows before Christmas.
Wow, y'all. 5 more shows. Royal Apple, we're gonna do a reveal in January. 1st January, you're gonna be really shocked. So y'all gotta make sure you're here on the Tuesday.
Let's see.
Yeah, we're gonna do a great reveal. A reveal. I could do a reading too, but I'm gonna do a reveal.
Go figure. January 6th.
Oh, all right. We're gonna be here on the day Trump gets inaugurated on the 20th.
It's a Monday.
Yep.
Awesome. We'll have to figure out something nice to do.
Yep.
Yeah, reveal.
Yep.
You know what? I'm going to tell you something about that. So everybody said don't be eating avocados because they're fattening, right? Don't eat avocados. They're fattening. They're fattening. They have too much cholesterol. Don't eat them. They're fattening. Well, I'm going to tell you something. They have the most protein, and they're really extremely good for you. They have the good fat, not the bad fat. I didn't know there was difference, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, KMM, it's all right. I understand, but which one are you going to miss? The one on the 20th or the one on the 6th? That is what my in Italy. Yeah, they ate onions. Well, I love onions. I could eat onions all day long.
Oh, I do too.
I love onions. I love onions. And berries are really good for your brain too. Any kind of berry.
Yeah.
Oh, both.
Oh,
Well, you know, that's what you get for being a fancy dancer, KMM.
right.
You and Tiny Dancer.
Oh, you'll just have to tune in when you get home.
Right?
Watch back.
You and Tiny Dancer are all hanging out. Fancy Dancer and Tiny Dancer. All right, y'all. It's that time. I hate to say it, but it's that time.
Yes, and it's Tuesday.
And it's Tuesday, so that means I won't see y'all till next Monday. Hopefully, I'll be feeling a little bit better next Monday.
Yeah. Yes. I will say prayers for you and your daughter.
Please, because I hate being sick.
And if I can be a little selfish and ask for prayers for me and
You got it.
personal reasons.
You got it. I say
will.
every night, and I hit him dead on point blank.
Yeah.
Okay, Linda, I can promise you it's going to be okay. Like I said, there's a song that goes something. If we make it through December, everything's going to be all right. I know. Because it's I'm telling you, that's the way I feel.
Right.
You know what? This is it, y'all. This is the last hoorah this month. And then we have somebody coming in to save us.
How many days do we have left?
I don't know. It seems like it's going to go forever. But you know what? Thank God it's not 3 years and so many days.
How many does anybody know offhand how many days we have until the inauguration? 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 days?
No, that's 2 months, isn't it? If today is December 3rd, 30 days would be January 3rd. 48.
Yep. Thank you, Donna.
48 days. We're gonna start doing a countdown.
Yes, that's start doing a countdown.
Right. So
Where you put the little one world, one government little thing.
We're gonna put how many days are.
We'll put 40, whatever.
That's exactly what we're gonna do. And the countdown begins.
Yep. There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
Well, I love y'all. I guess I'll see you next Monday. You have a good weekend.
Love you guys. Thank you for your continued support. Make sure you like and subscribe, and make
sure you share.
sure you're subscribed on the way out.
Yep, and you share and do all kind of wonderful stuff. And yeah, and the prisoners will be released. You know, they're doing a countdown. We're going to do a countdown. We are. Yep. You know what? That's instead of me coming up with all these different thumbnails and everything, I'm going to do the same one, and it's going to go Trump countdown 34.
Yeah.
we'll talk about whatever.
Right. Right. We'll
Yeah,
just keep you in the loop. That's all.
that's it. We'll just keep counting down. All right, y'all. Have a good weekend. Be nice to your neighbor, even though they're crazy. I know up there in Minnesota, they're not very happy because Timmy didn't win, but it's all right. It's all right. They don't know what's good for them.
Good night,
And,
everybody.
Good night. We'll see you Monday. Take care. Blessings, y'all.